Have you ever wondered how learn to be happy alone can lead to true inner peace? Solitude is often feared, misunderstood as loneliness, but it is actually an opportunity to connect with oneself. When embraced, solitude helps individuals cultivate self-awareness, explore their emotions, and build resilience. It is in these quiet moments that personal growth happens when you're not seeking external validation, but learning to thrive in your own company. By finding fulfillment within, you unlock a deeper, lasting happiness that no one else can take away. Embracing solitude as strength is a journey that begins with a shift in perception. Many fear being alone, equating it with isolation and emptiness. However, solitude is not an absence of companionship, but rather an opportunity for self-connection. It provides the rare chance to listen to one's inner voice without external influence. In solitude, an individual can explore their thoughts freely, understand their emotions, and cultivate a sense of self-awareness that is not shaped by societal expectations. Consider an artist working in a quiet studio. The silence around them is not a void, but a canvas on which their creativity unfolds. Without the distractions of conversation or the need for validation, they can fully immerse themselves in their work, experimenting with colors and techniques that might have remained unexplored in a social setting. Similarly, a writer who isolates themselves to draft a novel is not running away from the world, but rather stepping into their deepest thoughts, allowing words to flow without interruption. These moments of solitude do not hinder creativity. They enhance it, providing space for ideas to develop in their purest form. Beyond creativity, solitude fosters resilience. A person who embarks on a solo journey may initially feel discomfort in the absence of familiar faces. Yet, as they navigate new environments, make independent decisions, and face unforeseen challenges, they realize the strength that solitude nurtures. They learn to trust their instincts, develop problem-solving skills, and gain confidence in their ability to adapt. A traveler exploring a foreign land alone does not experience solitude as loneliness, but as empowerment, discovering that their own company is enough to find fulfillment. Self-awareness deepens in moments of solitude. When removed from the distractions of daily life, individuals can reflect on their past experiences and identify recurring patterns in their behavior. A person who takes the time to sit quietly and evaluate their relationships may recognize unhealthy dynamics they had previously ignored. Without the influence of outside opinions, they can analyze their emotions honestly, acknowledge their fears, and work towards personal growth. This introspection leads to intentional decision-making, allowing individuals to align their choices with their values rather than acting out of habit or societal pressure. Emotional independence is another gift that solitude offers. Many seek happiness in external validation, relying on relationships, social status, or material possessions to feel complete. However, solitude teaches that fulfillment is found within. A musician playing an instrument alone does not need an audience to find joy in their music. Their passion and dedication are enough. Similarly, a person who enjoys a quiet afternoon reading does not depend on company to experience contentment. When solitude is embraced, individuals cultivate an internal source of happiness that is not dependent on others, allowing them to enter relationships from a place of wholeness rather than need. Decision-making becomes clearer when one spends time alone. The constant input of opinions from others can cloud judgment, making it difficult to distinguish between personal aspirations and external expectations. A young entrepreneur considering a bold career move may find that solitude provides the clarity needed to trust their instincts. Stepping away from outside influence allows them to weigh the risks and rewards without pressure, leading to choices that are authentic and aligned with their vision. Solitude is not about avoiding guidance, but about ensuring that decisions come from within rather than being dictated by societal norms. Solitude also nurtures self-acceptance. In social settings, individuals often feel the need to conform, suppressing aspects of themselves to fit in. However, in solitude, there is no audience to impress, no judgment to fear. A person who enjoys unconventional interests may hesitate to share them openly, fearing criticism, yet in solitude, they can fully embrace what brings them joy. This acceptance strengthens self-worth, allowing individuals to carry their authenticity into the world with confidence. Those who have made peace with solitude do not feel pressured to change themselves to gain approval because they have already found acceptance within. As solitude is embraced, it becomes a source of liberation rather than discomfort. Instead of seeing it as a void to be filled, one can approach it as an opportunity for enrichment. Meditation, journaling, and mindful reflection all become tools to deepen self-connection. The ability to enjoy one's own company is not a sign of social inadequacy, but rather of emotional maturity. When a person can sit in silence and find peace, they realize they are whole on their own. This realization brings a profound sense of strength, freeing them from the need for external distractions to feel complete. The impact of solitude extends beyond personal well-being. It also enhances problem-solving abilities. When faced with challenges, individuals who are comfortable in solitude do not rush to seek external validation. Instead, they take the time to process situations independently. A scientist working late into the night in an empty laboratory often experiences breakthroughs because solitude allows for deep concentration. Without competing voices, their thoughts flow freely, leading to innovative ideas. This ability to think independently is invaluable in all aspects of life, enabling individuals to approach difficulties with confidence and clarity. Solitude also cultivates a deeper appreciation for life's simple moments. A person who takes a solitary walk through nature does not see loneliness in the absence of company, but instead experiences a heightened awareness of the world around them. The rustling leaves, the warmth of the sun, the rhythmic crashing of waves all become sources of joy. This mindfulness fosters gratitude, making everyday experiences richer and more fulfilling. The stillness of solitude allows individuals to engage with the present moment, finding beauty in the details that often go unnoticed in the chaos of social life. Far from diminishing social connections, solitude strengthens them. People who are comfortable being alone do not enter relationships out of necessity, but out of genuine desire. Their interactions become more meaningful because they are based on mutual respect rather than dependence. Friendships and romantic relationships are no longer a means to escape solitude, but rather an extension of a life already rich in self-awareness and contentment. Those who embrace solitude also set healthy boundaries, ensuring their relationships enhance their well-being rather than draining them. In this way, solitude does not create isolation, but rather enhances the quality of human connection. Throughout history, some of the most influential thinkers, artists, and leaders have understood the power of solitude. Leonardo da Vinci retreated into quiet reflection to refine his ideas, producing masterpieces that continue to inspire the world. Mahatma Gandhi practiced silence days, believing that true wisdom could only emerge from deep contemplation. These examples illustrate that solitude is not a hindrance to greatness, but rather a catalyst for it. By embracing time alone, individuals gain insight, creativity, and the ability to make a lasting impact. Ultimately, solitude leads to an unshakable sense of self-reliance. Those who have embraced solitude do not fear being alone. They welcome it as a time for restoration and empowerment. They trust their own judgment, navigate life's uncertainties with a calm mind, and cultivate an inner world that remains fulfilling regardless of external circumstances. This transformation turns solitude from something feared into something cherished. In the end, solitude is not about loneliness. It is about discovering the immense strength that comes from within. Building resilience and independence through solitude is a transformative process that allows individuals to develop the confidence to navigate life's challenges on their own. Many people associate independence with external achievements, such as financial stability or career success, but true independence begins internally. It is about cultivating the ability to rely on oneself emotionally, mentally, and physically without constantly seeking external validation or support. Solitude becomes a powerful tool in this journey, providing individuals with the space to confront difficulties, build self-trust, and develop the resilience needed to face adversity with confidence. Consider a student who moves to a foreign country to study, leaving behind the familiarity of home, friends, and family. In the beginning, the solitude may feel overwhelming, and the absence of a support system can be intimidating. However, as they navigate the challenges of living alone, managing finances, and making decisions independently, they begin to realize their own capabilities. They learn to solve problems without immediate assistance, adapt to unfamiliar situations, and develop the inner strength required to thrive in a new environment. Over time, what once seemed like loneliness transforms into self-sufficiency, proving that solitude is not a limitation, but an opportunity for personal growth. Resilience is the ability to recover from setbacks, and solitude strengthens this skill by allowing individuals to process difficulties on their own terms. When faced with challenges, many people instinctively seek advice and reassurance from others. While external support is valuable, constantly relying on it can prevent the development of internal problem-solving skills. A person who experiences a personal failure, such as losing a job or facing rejection, may initially struggle with self-doubt. However, solitude provides them with the opportunity to reflect on the situation, analyze what went wrong, and develop strategies for improvement. Without the distractions of external opinions, they learn to view failures not as defining moments, but as stepping stones toward resilience. An athlete training for a marathon embodies the essence of resilience and independence found in solitude. While coaches and teammates provide guidance, the true test of endurance happens in the solitary hours of practice. Running alone in the early morning, pushing through exhaustion, and staying disciplined despite the absence of external motivation builds an unshakable inner drive. The solitude of training reinforces mental toughness, proving that true strength is cultivated when no one else is watching. By embracing this solitude, the athlete does not rely solely on external encouragement, but instead draws motivation from within, a quality that extends far beyond sports and into all aspects of life. Solitude also fosters emotional independence by teaching individuals to manage their emotions without depending on others for constant reassurance. A person who has not developed emotional resilience may feel uneasy when alone, as they associate their self-worth with social interactions and external approval. However, those who embrace solitude learn to regulate their emotions effectively. A writer facing creative struggles might initially feel frustrated by self-doubt, but by spending time alone with their thoughts, they develop coping mechanisms such as journaling, meditation, or simply allowing themselves the space to experience emotions without judgment. Through this process, they build the emotional resilience needed to handle stress and setbacks without seeking external validation. The ability to make independent decisions is another crucial aspect of resilience. When individuals are constantly surrounded by the opinions of others, they may struggle to trust their own judgment. Solitude removes this external noise, allowing for deeper introspection and clarity. A business owner contemplating a major decision may step away from distractions to spend time alone in nature, reflecting on the long-term impact of their choices. This quiet contemplation enables them to evaluate risks and rewards with a clear mind, reinforcing their ability to make confident decisions without being swayed by external pressures. The more individuals practice decision-making in solitude, the more they trust their own instincts, reinforcing both resilience and independence. History is filled with examples of individuals who cultivated resilience and independence through solitude. Nelson Mandela, during his 27 years of imprisonment, used solitude as a time for deep reflection and self-improvement. Rather than allowing isolation to break him, he emerged stronger with an unshakable belief in his mission. His ability to endure hardship without losing hope was a testament to the power of resilience built through solitude. Similarly, renowned scientists, artists, and leaders have used periods of solitude to develop groundbreaking ideas, demonstrating that independence is not about detachment, but about strengthening one's inner foundation. Solitude also prepares individuals for unexpected life changes by teaching them adaptability. When someone is comfortable being alone, they become more flexible in handling uncertainties. A traveler who embarks on a solo backpacking journey learns to navigate unfamiliar territories, make quick decisions, and problem solve without immediate assistance. They become resourceful, learning how to find solutions in unfamiliar environments, whether it be communicating in a foreign language or finding shelter in an unknown city. This adaptability, developed through solitude, creates a mindset that is prepared for life's unpredictability rather than fearing it. Embracing solitude as a tool for resilience does not mean rejecting social connections, but rather strengthening the ability to function independently within them. A person who has cultivated independence through solitude enters relationships from a place of wholeness rather than need. They do not seek validation or constant reassurance from others because they have already built a strong foundation of self-trust. This makes their relationships more fulfilling as they engage with others from a place of confidence rather than dependence. In friendships, workplaces, and romantic relationships, those who embrace solitude bring stability, understanding that their happiness is not dependent on others, but is something they have already nurtured within themselves. Developing resilience through solitude is a continuous journey. It requires intentional effort to embrace moments of quiet reflection, to face difficulties without immediately seeking external solutions, and to trust in one's own capabilities. Whether through meditation, solo travel, creative pursuits, or independent decision-making, solitude offers countless opportunities to build inner strength. Over time, what once felt like isolation transforms into a deep well of confidence, proving that true resilience is not about avoiding struggles, but about having the strength to overcome them independently. The ability to stand strong in solitude is a powerful trait that translates into all areas of life. Those who embrace it navigate challenges with greater ease, recover from setbacks more quickly, and develop a deep sense of self-trust that external circumstances cannot shake. They become individuals who are not only capable of facing life's uncertainties, but who thrive within them. In the end, resilience and independence are not just about surviving hardships, but about emerging from them stronger, wiser, and more self-assured than before. Creativity and innovation thrive in solitude, where the mind is free from external distractions and societal expectations. When an individual is alone, their thoughts can flow without interruption, allowing them to explore new ideas, experiment with different perspectives, and push the boundaries of conventional thinking. Many of history's greatest breakthroughs and artistic masterpieces have been born in moments of solitude where the absence of external influence creates space for original thought. A painter working alone in a quiet studio immerses themselves in their craft without the constraints of external judgment. Without an audience, they can take risks, blend colors in unconventional ways, and follow their instincts rather than adhering to trends. This solitude is not isolation, but rather an opportunity to connect deeply with their creative intuition. Similarly, a composer who isolates themselves to write music finds that silence allows melodies to form naturally, unhindered by the noise of daily life. These moments of solitude provide a mental landscape where creativity flourishes organically, unrestricted by external expectations. Scientific and technological innovation also benefits from solitude. Many of the world's greatest inventors and thinkers have credited their breakthroughs to time spent alone, deep in contemplation. Albert Einstein, for example, often retreated into solitude to develop his theories, allowing his mind to wander freely without the constraints of conventional thinking. The theory of relativity did not emerge from group discussions, but rather from hours of independent thought, where he allowed himself to question the very fabric of reality. Similarly, Steve Jobs frequently took long walks alone, using these moments of solitude to generate groundbreaking ideas that would later revolutionize technology. These examples illustrate that solitude is not a hindrance to progress, but a catalyst for it, allowing the mind to explore uncharted territories of thought. Creativity is not limited to the arts and sciences, but extends into everyday problem solving and personal innovation. A writer struggling with writer's block may find that stepping away from distractions and immersing themselves in solitude allows new ideas to surface. In the quiet, their subconscious mind continues working on the problem, often leading to sudden bursts of inspiration. A chef experimenting with new recipes may find that working alone in the kitchen fosters a sense of creative freedom, allowing them to combine ingredients in unexpected ways. Whether in professional or personal pursuits, solitude nurtures an environment where individuals can engage deeply with their creative instincts. The connection between solitude and creativity is also evident in the natural world. Observing the way artists, thinkers, and innovators have drawn inspiration from their solitary experiences highlights the importance of quiet reflection. Vincent van Gogh, despite his struggles with mental health, found solace in solitude, creating some of the most emotionally powerful paintings of all time. His ability to immerse himself in his work without distraction allowed him to develop a distinctive style that remains unparalleled. Similarly, J.K. Rowling conceived the idea for Harry Potter while sitting alone on a delayed train. Had she been constantly engaged in conversation or external stimuli, the story that captivated millions might never have materialized. These instances demonstrate that solitude is not about escaping the world, but about engaging with it more deeply through the lens of creativity. The modern world, with its constant connectivity and endless distractions, makes solitude a rare and often undervalued commodity. People are bombarded with notifications, messages, and opinions at all times, leaving little room for uninterrupted thought. However, those who intentionally carve out time for solitude find that it enhances their ability to generate innovative ideas. A designer who disconnects from social media and spends time alone sketching may develop concepts that are truly original, rather than unconsciously influenced by existing trends. A software developer who takes time away from team discussions to work independently may come up with creative solutions that were not immediately apparent in a group setting. These moments of quiet reflection provide clarity, allowing creativity to surface in ways that constant engagement does not. Creativity also thrives in solitude because it removes the pressure to conform. In social settings, individuals may hesitate to express unconventional ideas for fear of judgment or rejection. However, in solitude, there is no need to seek approval. A poet writing in solitude does not worry about whether their words will be accepted by an audience. Instead, they focus on expressing their truth. A sculptor working alone in a studio is not concerned with trends, but with bringing their vision to life. This freedom from external expectations fosters innovation, allowing individuals to take creative risks that they might not have pursued in a more socially influenced environment. Solitude is not about isolation, but about creating the mental space necessary for creativity to thrive. Some of the most transformative ideas emerge when individuals step away from distractions and immerse themselves in deep thought. Entrepreneurs who take quiet retreats often return with fresh perspectives, having allowed themselves the time to think beyond the immediate demands of daily life. Writers who dedicate themselves to solitary retreats often produce their best work, benefiting from the uninterrupted flow of thought that solitude provides. Musicians who compose alone are able to connect with their emotions more deeply, translating their feelings into melodies that resonate on a profound level. The pattern is clear. Solitude serves as an incubator for creativity, providing the conditions needed for original thought to take shape. This relationship between solitude and creativity is further reinforced by neuroscience. Studies have shown that the brain's default mode network, responsible for imagination and self-reflection, is most active during moments of solitude. When individuals are not engaged in external tasks, their brains enter a state of free association, making unexpected connections between ideas. This explains why many people experience their most creative insights while alone, whether during a quiet walk, a long drive, or even in the solitude of the shower. These moments allow the mind to wander, unlocking new ideas that might not have surfaced in a structured environment. While collaboration and social interaction are important, they cannot replace the unique benefits that solitude offers to creativity. Group discussions may generate a wide range of ideas, but they often lack the depth that comes from solitary contemplation. Many creative breakthroughs happen in isolation before they are shared with the world. A filmmaker who conceptualizes a story alone later brings their vision to a team to execute it. A scientist who develops a hypothesis in solitude later collaborates with peers to test it. Innovation often begins in solitude and is then refined through collaboration, highlighting the essential role that both play in the creative process. Embracing solitude as a tool for creativity requires intentional effort. In a world that equates busyness with productivity, taking time to be alone may seem counterintuitive. However, those who recognize the value of solitude understand that stepping away from constant activity can lead to deeper insights and more meaningful creative work. Whether through meditation, journaling, or simply sitting in silence, making space for solitude allows the mind to function at its highest creative capacity. The ability to generate new ideas, innovate, and express creativity is not limited to a select few. It is a skill that can be cultivated through the practice of solitude. Those who learn to embrace moments of quiet reflection discover that their creativity is not something they need to chase. It is something that naturally emerges when given the right conditions. Solitude is not a barrier to creativity, but a gateway to it, offering individuals the space, freedom, and clarity needed to transform their thoughts into something extraordinary. Enhancing relationships begins with a strong sense of self. When individuals are truly content with who they are, they bring a more authentic presence into their interactions, fostering deeper, more meaningful connections. Many people enter relationships seeking validation or a sense of completeness, hoping that others will fill the gaps in their identity. However, the strongest relationships are built when individuals feel whole on their own. Solitude plays a crucial role in this process, allowing individuals to understand their emotions, define their values, and cultivate self-awareness before sharing themselves with others. A person who has spent time alone reflecting on their needs and desires approaches relationships with clarity. Instead of entering friendships or romantic partnerships out of loneliness, they choose connections that align with their true self. This leads to healthier dynamics where interactions are based on mutual respect rather than dependency. Imagine two people in a romantic relationship, one who fears being alone and clings to their partner for security, and another who values their independence and sees the relationship as a complement to their life rather than a necessity. The latter is far more likely to cultivate a stable and fulfilling bond, as they do not expect their partner to be responsible for their happiness. Solitude also helps individuals set and maintain boundaries, a key factor in successful relationships. People who fear being alone often struggle with boundaries, saying yes when they want to say no, or tolerating behaviors that do not align with their values. However, those who have embraced solitude learn that their well-being is their responsibility, and they do not compromise themselves for the sake of external approval. A person who enjoys spending time alone understands the importance of recharging and does not feel guilty for setting limits when needed. Whether in friendships, family relationships, or romantic partnerships, having clear boundaries leads to interactions that are based on respect and mutual understanding. Spending time alone also cultivates emotional stability, which directly impacts how individuals relate to others. Someone who is constantly surrounded by people may struggle to process their emotions independently, relying on external distractions to avoid introspection. However, a person who has learned to sit with their thoughts in solitude becomes more emotionally self-sufficient. When conflicts arise in relationships, they approach them with a sense of calm rather than reacting impulsively. They have practiced understanding their own emotions and as a result can extend the same understanding to others. This emotional maturity creates stronger, more resilient relationships as both parties communicate from a place of clarity rather than emotional turbulence. Authenticity flourishes in those who are comfortable with solitude. Many people adjust their behavior in social settings to fit in, often suppressing aspects of their true selves to gain acceptance. However, when someone spends time alone, free from external expectations, they become more attuned to who they really are. This self-awareness allows them to engage in relationships without pretense, attracting connections that resonate with their authentic nature. A person who enjoys solitude is less likely to seek validation through social approval and more likely to form bonds with those who appreciate them for who they truly are. Consider a friend who constantly seeks attention and affirmation from others versus a friend who enjoys their own company and values deep, meaningful interactions. The latter brings a sense of presence and depth to their relationships because they are not engaging out of need, but out of genuine interest. They do not drain others with the weight of their insecurities, but instead contribute positively, offering thoughtful conversations and unwavering support. When people feel comfortable with themselves, their friendships and relationships become less about filling a void and more about mutual growth. Romantic relationships also benefit when individuals cultivate a strong sense of self before entering a partnership. Many relationships falter because one or both partners rely too heavily on the other for emotional security. When someone is afraid of being alone, they may tolerate unhealthy dynamics, staying in relationships that do not serve them simply because they fear solitude. However, when a person has embraced solitude, they do not settle for companionship out of desperation. They choose partners who align with their values, who complement their life rather than define it. This independence fosters a relationship based on love rather than need, allowing both individuals to grow together while maintaining their individuality. The ability to spend time alone also strengthens communication skills, a fundamental component of successful relationships. When individuals are constantly surrounded by others, they may struggle to differentiate their own thoughts from external influences. Solitude provides the opportunity to develop self-awareness, ensuring that when they do engage in conversations, they express themselves with clarity and confidence. Someone who has spent time reflecting on their thoughts and emotions can articulate their feelings more effectively, reducing misunderstandings and fostering deeper connections. The impact of solitude on relationships extends beyond personal interactions and into professional environments as well. A leader who is comfortable spending time alone is more likely to make independent, thoughtful decisions rather than being swayed by group opinions. They exhibit confidence, not because they seek approval, but because they have taken the time to reflect and trust their own judgment. This self-assurance creates an environment where colleagues and employees respect their leadership as decisions are made with integrity rather than external pressure. Throughout history, some of the most profound relationships have been formed by individuals who understood the power of solitude. Philosophers, writers, and spiritual leaders have often emphasized the importance of introspection in developing meaningful human connections. Rainer Maria Rilke, a poet known for his deep reflections on love and solitude, once wrote that true love is not about merging into one, but about standing strong as individuals while supporting each other's growth. This concept highlights that the best relationships come not from dependency, but from two independent individuals choosing to walk alongside each other. The modern world often equates constant social engagement with happiness, leading many to believe that being alone is undesirable. However, those who embrace solitude understand that it enriches their relationships rather than diminishing them. When people are at peace with themselves, they bring stability, depth, and authenticity into their interactions. They do not seek relationships to complete them, but rather to enhance an already fulfilling life. They engage with others from a place of wholeness, making their relationships more profound and meaningful. Solitude is not about withdrawing from the world, but about preparing oneself to engage with it in a more authentic way. It allows individuals to recharge, gain clarity, and develop the self-awareness necessary to build strong, healthy relationships. Whether in friendships, romantic relationships, or professional interactions, those who are comfortable with themselves create bonds that are based on trust, respect, and genuine connection. In the end, solitude does not weaken relationships, it strengthens them, ensuring that each interaction is rooted in authenticity rather than fear of being alone. Personal growth and goal setting thrive in solitude, offering individuals the space to reflect on past experiences, define objectives, and align actions with core values. In a fast-paced world filled with distractions, solitude provides a necessary pause for introspection. Without societal pressures, individuals gain clarity on aspirations, recognize behavioral patterns, and craft a roadmap for their future. A student struggling to focus in a noisy environment benefits from solitude, where they can structure study time, assess weaknesses, and develop discipline. Reflection on past mistakes, such as procrastination, helps them set realistic goals, ensuring alignment with academic ambitions. Similarly, a business leader who steps away from daily operations can analyze past decisions, identify successes and failures, and set objectives based on long-term vision. This process enhances thoughtful leadership and fosters purposeful action. Athletes and performers also rely on solitude for self-improvement. A runner training alone assesses endurance, refines techniques, and cultivates discipline. These solitary sessions develop mental resilience and motivation, essential for long-term growth. Beyond professional settings, solitude serves as a space for emotional and psychological development. By reflecting on past relationships, individuals recognize patterns, evaluate personal needs, and ensure future connections align with their values. Creativity flourishes in solitude, where individuals explore passions without external influence. A writer seeking inspiration finds ideas flow more freely when alone, allowing self-discovery and authentic expression. Artists, too, benefit from isolation, producing work that resonates with their vision rather than societal expectations. Goal setting becomes more effective when rooted in self-awareness. Without distractions, individuals ask themselves crucial questions about career paths, habits, and aspirations, ensuring goals reflect personal desires rather than external pressures. Solitude strengthens resilience by fostering independence. A person setting financial goals, such as saving for a home, develops discipline through private reflection, building the patience needed to overcome setbacks. History offers examples of solitude as a catalyst for growth. Mahatma Gandhi refined his philosophies in silence, while Henry David Thoreau embraced isolation to gain insights into human nature and freedom. Their experiences highlight solitude's role in deep self-understanding and meaningful contribution to society. Personal growth is an ongoing journey, and solitude creates the space needed for evolution. Taking time to reflect and redefine goals ensures intentional progress. The ability to set meaningful objectives and work toward them independently is a testament to self-discipline and respect. Those who embrace solitude as a tool for growth cultivate purpose, ensuring their actions align with their values and aspirations. Practicing self-compassion is a journey that begins with solitude. When individuals take time to be alone, they create a space where they can acknowledge their emotions without judgment. In a world that constantly demands productivity and external validation, solitude offers the rare opportunity to slow down, reflect, and treat oneself with kindness. It allows individuals to recognize their struggles, forgive their mistakes, and appreciate their growth without needing approval from others. True self-compassion does not come from seeking reassurance, but from developing an inner voice that offers understanding and support. A person going through a difficult period, such as career setbacks or personal failures, may feel overwhelmed by self-criticism. Society often equates success with external achievements, making it easy to internalize feelings of inadequacy. However, solitude provides a much-needed pause to reframe these experiences. A writer facing rejection from publishers may initially feel discouraged, but by stepping away from external opinions and embracing solitude, they can shift their perspective. Instead of viewing rejection as failure, they can see it as part of the creative process, a necessary step toward improvement. Through this self-compassion, they learn that setbacks do not define their worth, but rather shape their resilience. Forgiving oneself is one of the most challenging yet essential aspects of self-compassion. Many people hold on to guilt and regret for years, allowing past mistakes to overshadow their present and future. Solitude creates a space where individuals can process these emotions, acknowledge their imperfections, and understand that growth comes from learning rather than self-punishment. A parent who feels guilt for not always being present for their child may, in solitude, reflect on their efforts and recognize the love they have given. Instead of dwelling on moments of absence, they can choose to focus on the ways they have supported and nurtured their child. This shift in perspective, cultivated through solitude, allows them to move forward with greater self-acceptance. Self-compassion also involves appreciating one's journey, recognizing how far one has come despite the challenges faced. Too often, people focus on what they have not yet achieved, comparing themselves to others and feeling inadequate. However, when they take time alone to reflect, they begin to see their progress. An entrepreneur who has spent years building a business may feel frustrated that they have not reached a certain level of success. But through solitude, they can look back on the skills they have gained, the obstacles they have overcome, and the persistence that has brought them this far. This appreciation for their own journey fosters gratitude, replacing feelings of lack with recognition of personal growth. Solitude encourages individuals to embrace their emotions fully rather than suppress them. In social settings, there is often pressure to appear strong, positive, or unaffected by difficulties. However, when alone, individuals can be honest with themselves. A person experiencing grief may find that in solitude, they are able to process their emotions without feeling the need to hide their pain. They can cry, write in a journal, or sit in quiet contemplation, allowing themselves to heal without external expectations. By giving themselves permission to feel, they cultivate self-compassion, understanding that emotions are not weaknesses, but natural aspects of the human experience. Mindfulness plays a significant role in self-compassion, and solitude provides the ideal environment for practicing it. When individuals engage in mindful reflection, they become aware of their thoughts and feelings without harsh judgment. A person struggling with self-doubt may, through mindfulness, recognize that their inner critic is not an accurate reflection of their true self. By practicing self-kindness in moments of solitude, they replace self-criticism with words of encouragement. Instead of saying, "I'm not good enough," they begin to affirm, "I am doing my best," and that is enough. This shift in self-talk transforms their inner dialogue, fostering a more compassionate relationship with themselves. Creativity and personal expression also flourish when self-compassion is present. Many individuals abandon creative pursuits due to fear of failure or self-judgment. However, when they embrace solitude and allow themselves to create without the pressure of perfection, they rediscover the joy of self-expression. A musician who once hesitated to compose due to fear of criticism may, in solitude, experiment freely, composing music that truly resonates with their emotions. This creative liberation, nurtured by self-compassion, allows individuals to engage in their passions without the burden of unrealistic expectations. Self-care is an extension of self-compassion, and solitude provides the perfect opportunity to prioritize it. In the rush of daily life, people often neglect their well-being, focusing on obligations rather than personal needs. However, when they take time alone, they can listen to their bodies and minds, identifying what they truly need to feel balanced. A person who has been feeling exhausted may realize in solitude that they need rest rather than pushing themselves harder. By honoring their limits, they practice self-compassion in a tangible way, treating themselves with the same care they would offer a loved one. History and philosophy emphasize the importance of self-compassion through solitude. Buddhist teachings often highlight the practice of loving kindness meditation, where individuals silently offer words of compassion to themselves and others. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, wrote extensively on self-reflection, encouraging individuals to find strength within and avoid unnecessary self-criticism. These historical perspectives reinforce the idea that self-compassion is not indulgence, but an essential part of living a balanced and meaningful life. Embracing solitude as a tool for self-compassion allows individuals to cultivate a deep and lasting sense of inner peace. When they learn to support themselves emotionally, they no longer rely on external validation to feel worthy. They understand that mistakes do not make them failures, that emotions are meant to be felt, and that their journey is uniquely valuable. Through solitude, they develop the ability to treat themselves with kindness, ensuring that no matter what challenges arise, they always have a source of strength within themselves. Finding peace and freedom begins with embracing solitude, allowing individuals to detach from societal expectations and cultivate inner strength. In a world that constantly demands conformity, solitude provides the space to rediscover authenticity. Many people live under the weight of external pressures, shaped by expectations about career success, relationships, and personal achievements. However, when they step away from these influences and immerse themselves in solitude, they gain clarity about their true desires and values, no longer feeling the need to meet imposed standards. A traveler who embarks on a solo journey into the mountains experiences a profound sense of peace. Away from the noise of the world, they begin to notice the simplicity of existence, the rustling leaves, the rhythm of their breath, the vastness of the sky. In this solitude, they are no longer defined by societal roles or obligations. They are simply present, free from the need to prove themselves. This moment of stillness reinforces the idea that true peace does not come from external achievements, but from the ability to be content in one's own presence. Solitude also frees individuals from the constant comparison that comes with social interaction. Many people measure their success based on the lives of others, feeling pressure to meet certain milestones. However, when they embrace solitude, they detach from this cycle and begin to define success on their own terms. A musician who once felt inadequate because they had not achieved commercial fame may find in solitude that their passion for music is enough. They no longer need validation from an audience to feel fulfilled. By letting go of external measures, they reclaim their freedom, finding joy in the act of creation itself. The power of solitude is evident in history, where many great thinkers and leaders sought isolation to cultivate wisdom. Henry David Thoreau retreated into nature to escape the distractions of society, finding a deeper understanding of life in the simplicity of solitude. Buddhist monks dedicate themselves to silence, recognizing that peace is not something to be chased, but something that emerges when the mind is quiet. These examples demonstrate that solitude is not loneliness, but liberation, a way to detach from unnecessary burdens and connect with a deeper sense of self. Inner freedom comes when individuals no longer feel bound by expectations. A person who once felt pressured to follow a conventional career path may, through solitude, realize that their happiness lies elsewhere. Instead of chasing security defined by others, they choose a path that aligns with their passions. This realization is not always immediate, but solitude provides the space for these discoveries to unfold. The absence of external noise allows them to hear their own voice, guiding them toward a life that feels truly fulfilling. Peace and freedom also stem from the ability to be comfortable with uncertainty. Many fear the unknown because they have been conditioned to seek stability. However, solitude teaches that uncertainty is not something to resist, but to embrace. A person who has spent time alone in reflection understands that life's unpredictability is not a threat, but an opportunity. They develop resilience, knowing that they do not need all the answers to move forward. In this acceptance, they find a profound sense of peace, trusting that they are capable of navigating whatever comes their way. Embracing solitude does not mean rejecting society, but rather engaging with it from a place of inner strength. Those who have found peace within themselves do not seek validation in their interactions, but instead bring authenticity into their relationships. They are no longer swayed by trends, opinions, or social pressures. Their choices are intentional, guided by their own understanding of what brings them fulfillment. This is the ultimate freedom, not escaping the world, but moving through it with a sense of purpose and peace that cannot be shaken by external forces. The journey toward peace and freedom begins in solitude. It is in these quiet moments that individuals release the weight of expectations and allow themselves to simply be. They no longer seek to fit into a mold, but instead embrace the uniqueness of their own path. Through solitude, they discover that true freedom is not found in external circumstances, but in the ability to be at peace with oneself, free from the constraints that once held them back. Solitude is not a burden, but a profound gift that offers individuals the space to cultivate self-awareness, build resilience, and live authentically. In a world that often equates being alone with loneliness, embracing solitude allows for deeper self-discovery and personal growth. It is in these quiet moments that individuals gain clarity about their values, aspirations, and true desires, free from external expectations. Through solitude, they learn to rely on their inner strength, navigate challenges independently, and develop an unshakable sense of self. By choosing solitude as a source of empowerment, individuals build resilience. They face their fears, process emotions, and learn to appreciate their journey without the need for validation. This ability to stand alone fosters confidence, emotional stability, and a sense of freedom that extends into every aspect of life. Whether through creative expression, goal setting, or self-reflection, solitude becomes a space for transformation, offering the opportunity to grow into one's most authentic self. The beauty of solitude lies in its ability to enhance both personal fulfillment and relationships. When individuals are at peace with themselves, they bring sincerity and depth into their interactions. They no longer seek companionship to fill a void, but rather to share experiences from a place of wholeness. This shift in perspective creates healthier, more meaningful connections, strengthening relationships with both others and oneself. Ultimately, embracing solitude leads to a life of clarity, purpose, and inner freedom. It is a reminder that happiness does not depend on external circumstances, but on the ability to find peace within. By welcoming solitude, individuals unlock a deeper understanding of themselves, allowing them to navigate life with confidence, resilience, and authenticity. In solitude, they do not lose themselves. They finally find who they truly are.